Part 3. I keep running out of space. I'm going to make this quick. Okay. So Daniel Sanchez, nice as he can be. Carry that Bible everywhere. If you didn't believe it like he believed it, though, you got a problem. Jesus, man. I moved in on April the 3rd. On April the 18th, I wake up, regular routine, 8 o'clock in the morning, drink coffee, TV's on. I start hearing glass breaking. Start hearing bumping sounds. I think somebody's moving out the building because I was supposed to move into a different apartment. A few minutes pass, not that much time, maybe a minute or two pass. After hearing this glass breaking and bumping sounds, I hear somebody shouting. I open up my door, and Daniel's room was 10 feet from mine, his bedroom window. Flames shooting out of that window like an inferno, like something you see on TV. The whole building's connected. The whole building's on fire now, including his room. I ran back in. There was a guy with a water hose from the property putting water on that window where Daniel Sanchez lived. Wasn't doing much, but he was trying. I'm running back in, grabbed my passport, grabbed my money, my computer, my phone, grabbing all my clothes. I ran in and out of that smoke-filled building 3 times, trying to get as much stuff as I could get out, because I'm in a foreign country. I don't know if the fire department's going to come. If they do, I don't know if they'll be in time. I don't know if the whole building's going to burn down. I don't know what the hell's going on. I didn't see his motorcycle when I first started running in and out. When I stopped, the doctor told me, don't go in no more. Don't go back, and I didn't because there's too much smoke. So then I see his motorcycle, Daniel's motorcycle. I asked anybody seen Daniel. No, they ain't seen him. They said Daniel's gone. The doctor said he's gone. I said, he usually don't leave this early in the morning. When he does, I hear him. His motorcycle's here. He don't usually leave without the motorcycle. So I'm looking around now. I'm shocked, and I know he's in there, even though they say he's not. I can just feel it in my bones. I call him on the phone on WhatsApp, leave him a message, tell him it's an emergency call as soon as you can, and nobody called. Fire department gets there, long story short. They put the fire out. The doctor tell me it's a body inside. He said, did you know Daniel? I said, yes. I didn't even know the doctor. I knew he lived on the property, but I had just met him when this fire happened. I said, yeah, I knew him. He said, describe him. I described him. He said, I don't think it's Daniel, it's somebody else. So I'm thinking now, if it ain't Daniel, Daniel got a problem. Daniel got a problem either way it goes. If it ain't him, who is it and what they doing in there? Okay, 10, 15 minutes past, the fire department is there. They put the fire out. They come around asking questions. The police on the property. They talking to the people in Spanish. They couldn't interview me because I couldn't speak no Spanish. Then the doctor tell me it was Daniel inside. Dead, burnt the fuck up, excuse my language. I don't know if he's burned up, but he's dead. The room was burned up. I saw it later. The bed was burned up. That's where the body was. Burnt the fuck up, excuse my language. And I said, well, what happened? Maybe he went to sleep. He's cooking or something. This is what I'm thinking. Maybe he's cooking and accidentally set the place on fire. Then they said, no, people across the street is connected with the owner. They saw 2 men run from the building right before the building went up in flames. The fire department says somebody sprayed an accelerant in the building and they set it on fire. That's on the 18th of April. I moved in on April the 3rd, and they burnt the fucking building up and killed somebody. It ain't funny. You tell me I'm shocked. It's one thing to hear about these things. Most people don't read. Because they don't read, they don't know the danger they're in. They come in and out of these places, and they just wilding and having a good time, and they ain't paying attention because they don't read. Most people don't read nothing. For the most part, nothing makes any sense. If you read, you can find out a whole lot of stuff about the environment before you go into it. Not everything. So I knew it was dangerous. I did know that before I went. And I knew the violence and the murder thing, but I had no idea it was as bad as it was for real until I got there. And I was shocked. And when they set the building on fire and killed Daniel, it messed me up for about 2 weeks. I mean, I was traumatized. I dealt with it and I stayed, but I was traumatized for 2 weeks trying to, everywhere I moved like being in prison. Everywhere you're watching people and don't know what's on their mind or who's coming at you, So I'm just saying that to say that that's Mexico. Nicest people in the world. And before that happened, I was thinking about staying permanently, or either leaving and coming back and keeping it on my places of possibilities of making it a permanent home. And if it wasn't for that murder rate, I would, because I love the people for real. The women are beautiful, the men, everybody's nice and friendly, warm and welcoming. But Lord have mercy, this murder thing ain't no joke, y'all. This violent thing ain't no joke, y'all. The guns come from America. The insatiable appetite for heroin and fentanyls and that stuff that the white boys do, that speed-like thing. The insatiable appetite for narcotics is off the chain in America and has been for generations. And so they feeding that Jones, Central America, South America, and these other countries, even China, they feeding that need in America for drugs. And it's creating havoc in their countries. It's creating the kind of stuff that you can't even imagine. Money. and power and the things that people will do for it in order to rule and control. It's so yeah, they got murder squads in Honduras and women grabbing their babies and going through rivers in the middle of the night and coming through dangerous territory. Mexico ain't nothing to play with. You know, they're getting kidnapped and all kinds of stuff happening on the way to the border. But they're risking it all because they fleeing from, untenable situations that Americans don't have no idea about. I'm telling you the honest to God truth. So if you go to Mexico, I wouldn't advise it, But if you go, be careful. Understand what you're going into. Don't go down there clowning. You don't get into arguing with people. If you got that kind of personality, you probably be better staying out of Mexico. And if you got that tough guy mentality, you sure enough be better staying out of Mexico because it'll lead you to the grave down there. Don't go down there clowning. These people are the children of the Aztec. Now, if you know the Aztec, they got mass graves in Mexico, like in Ghana. In Nigeria, they're talking about return our girls when they kidnapped the 200 Chinaboo girls. They did the same thing in Mexico. You didn't hear nobody talking about return our girls. They've been gone longer than the Chinaboo girls. They ain't coming back. They got mass graves down there. They dig them up every few months, seems like. They got 20 over here and 40 bodies over here and body parts. That's the nature of it. Ain't no joke down there. Be careful if you go to Mexico. It's a wonderful place, nicest people in the world, and I'm telling you, I could live there if it wasn't for this cartel shit and this drug thing and this murderous thing. Okay, so that's it. That's my advice. That's my warning. I'm sorry that it had to be a 3-part deal, but I got so much stuff on here I haven't uploaded, downloaded. So it's will be a 3-part video in Mexico, Tijuana. Lord have mercy. Woo! You have no idea. You think Chicago and New Orleans and Kansas City and Detroit and Philly, no. It's a piece of cake. It's child's play compared to Mexico and probably Honduras and the other places in El Salvador also. So just a word of warning. Some people, you can't tell them nothing. So this is just my, and it's not no